Hey guys. The leaks for Jujutsu Kaisen Manga chapter 225 is out and we see the continuation between Sukuna in Megumi body vs Gojo. Without any delay, let's get down to the video. The chapter starts with a switch in point of view. All sorcerers are watching Gojo vs Sukuna battle through various screens. Mei really outdid herself with this. The commentator of the telecast briefs that Sukuna is using domain amplification against Gojo to neutralize the infinity barrier. Yuta explains that it's the same plan Hanami and Jago used against Gojo, as they saw in Mekamaru's video. Hikari wonders how's it possible, to which Kusakabe replies domain amplification is an upgraded version of simple domain. Angel tells that the advantage of amplification is that one can't use their innate curse technique, and the same goes for Sukuna. But if Sukuna has different plan to bypass Gojo's infinity, then Angel comments that Gojo will lose the match. Miwa asks, why isn't Sukuna just using domain expansion? Karara rebutes Miwa saying, you say it so easily, but it would finish the battle immediately. Yuji says, a must-hit effect of a domain would penetrate Gojo's infinity. Ui asks, what if Sukuna is assuming he can't win a domain battle against Gojo? But Shoko replies that Gojo's wicked personality and the 6 eyes would have caught such thoughts of Sukuna, if there is any. Then Choso adds that Sukuna's domain doesn't has any barrier to begin. Everyone is shocked to learn the fact that Sukuna's domain is barrierless. Choso says he got to know about it from Yuji and Inumaki. Miwa doesn't understand how a barrierless domain works, so Kusakabe asks her to throw the bottle of water. Miwa throws a bottle near her and he gives it back to her, saying he never asked for bottle but just water. Mei then says, barrierless domain is like painting without canvas. Maki says it's rare but not impossible. Megumi's domain expansion was incomplete and therefore lacked a barrier as well. But Kusakabe says Megumi's is not the same as Sukuna's. Megumi had to make use of the environment since it was incomplete, while Sukuna has free control over his domain expansion. Choso reveals that Kenjaku also had barrierless domain expansion. He explains that in their battle, Yuki used a simple domain while Tengen dismantled Kenny's domain from outside. Choso adds that Yuki's simple domain didn't stood a chance, but if she had used her domain expansion, but Mei cuts in and then says it wouldn't become push battle between the domains but the outlines. Then Ino asks, they are talking about using domain expansion casually but it can't be used often, right? Inumaki says Okaka and Yuta translates it saying, Gojo doesn't runs out of cursed energy. Ino then says using Damamen expansion consecutively should be a different case. Kashimo adds Sukuna is godlike when it comes to efficiently using cursed energy. If it comes to efficiency, Sukuna would have already won the battle if not for Gojo's 6 eyes. After all the talk, Momo comes to a conclusion saying it's just her guess, but even both Gojo and Sukuna might not know what the outcome of their domain battle would be. Higuruma then calls out everyone to look at what's happening. The scene switches to both Gojo and Sukuna activating their domain expansion. Gojo's unlimited void versus Sukuna's malevolent shrine. Inside Gojo's domain barrier, both Sukuna's and Gojo's must-hit effect overlapped and got cancelled. But if either of them gets severe damage and collapse, the must-hit will affect the opponent in a split second. Kusakabe and Mei Mei are shocked. Narrator explains that Sukuna's domain effect range reaches even out of Gojo's barrier, and the barrier of domain is, Yuji completes the sentence, a domain barrier is weak against attacks from outside. Sukuna's slash attacks Gojo's barrier from the outside and the barrier collapses. And finally, Sukuna's must-hit slashes Gojo's neck, while Gojo looked shocked.